Look at all of that glare in my glasses. I try to film without them sometimes, but she can't see. So enjoy the glare. What do y'all see anyway? It's just the window and my mini plants on my desk. I have like a little garden on my desk. You want to see it? 1 second. Has nothing to do with this video, but why not? Welcome back to Shaky Cam. Yeah, it makes me happy to have things that are alive and growing on my desk. So this is my most recent addition. Put one of the watering bulbs in it. These are like the best thing ever. I don't know what this plant is, but it has just the most beautiful like waxy orange bulbs. Oh wait, there it is. It is a sunstar. Well, that's lovely. What a lovely name. And this one's just, it's going to get all the sun it can. But apparently when the bulbs die, they kind of droop. And then there's some kind of lily. I don't know what kind. But it's quite beautiful. I love the color. Doesn't need a ton of water. Easy to take care of. And I've had this orchid. My mom got me this orchid like 4 years ago. And it just, every 3 months, I get a new set of flowers on it. It blooms beautifully. Over here, swing around on my Sailor Moon. So this is like the bookshelf we looked at in my video. Yeah, fruits basket behind me, that is in all my videos. But this one actually has not bloomed in a couple of years, and there are some flower buds growing that are making me really happy. And I've got this cute little daisiest thing. That's my little movable ring light. But this little daisiest type flower. Ooh, it needs water. It reblooms. So its blooms, kind of just droop off. And then new ones take its place. That had zero to do with the point of today's video. But, flowers make me happy. There are 3 things decoratively that I will always love. That will always make me smile. Butterflies, flowers, and pink. That is my entire life in 3 items. But hey, welcome. I'm the Ebony Otaku, the well-rounded nerd. That includes flowers now. I got a little bit of free time on an afternoon. We're coming up on the summer season when I'm filming this. When I'm filming this, I am 3 days from going to Renaissance Festival and camping. And then when we get back from RenFest 2 days after that, I will be going to Mexico for family vacation. So by the time this post, I will have been back from all that tripping. But she's trying to get some videos recorded so that while I'm tripping, I'm not tripping. While I'm going on trips and having my family vacation time, the channel is still uploading. And I was like, well, what do I want to do right now? Because I'm still teaching. I don't know why I decided to sign up to teach a whole bunch of classes the week that I'm going out, because my brain is already in vacation mode. Like, she's already on the beach. But I have a class to teach in the morning. And I was like, I want to record a video, but my brain's not with it. So I want to do something that makes me happy for this video. And what makes us any happier than when we figure out that we have a duplicate? So that means we can open one. Now, these duplicates were not intentional, actually. I don't go out buying multiples. These things are not cheap. But this is a Perceptor, and he is from Transformers the movie and the 86 series. Perceptors. Is that a word? Perceptors? Perceptors? Percepti? Anyhow. I don't know what the plural of Perceptor is. I have 2 Perceptor. And he's a fun little character. And my first memory of him is actually in the movie. I know there's a lot of characters that I don't remember in the show until the movie. And then I remember them in the G2 series. And they were there. I've got to go back and rewatch G1. I need to have like a binge weekend where I just treat myself to the original Transformers just for the heck of it. But y'all know she's gonna drop something in every video. I'm clumsy. It's weird. Like, I do martial arts. Like, I just came from the gym. Like, after work, like 3 days a week, I go and work out and I practice taekwondo and all that kind of stuff. And you'd never know, watching me kick and twirl and everything else, how stinking clumsy I am, like, in regular life. Nobody gets everything. You can't have all the gifts. Like, I have excellent hearing. Like, I can hear, like, my Baby Yoda earrings. There's like, yeah, I got them at Disney a couple of years ago. But I have excellent hearing. Like, I can hear flies whisper across the street. But she can't see, so nobody gets all the talent. Like, oh my God, they're so beautiful. Yeah, They probably have really bad body odor. Like nobody gets, like nobody gets everything. Like even if you can't see like what the minus is, there's a minus. That has nothing to do. But during the 2 years of staying at home we all went through, she treated herself to train. I went through a series of days where I decided not to say no to myself because like for everyone else, like that time was weird for all of us. I think the best quote I heard during the panorama, I hate YouTube phrasing, by the way. I hate having to do that. That's so annoying. But I went through a don't say no to myself for period. And that was a result of seeing a really good quote that said, we're all in the same storm, but we're not all in the same boat. Like, yeah, we were all going through it, but everybody's experience of that time was different, you know, based on your family structure, job, what kind of job you had. Like, just, well, we all found out real quick how important grocery stores and restaurants are, okay? You know, we all found out real quick. Well, not found out, but we're reminded everything comes on a truck. You know, everything comes on a truck. You know, and I just, you know, when I had gone from traveling all the time, because my job at the time was like, it was only supposed to be like 50% travel, but we were like 80% travel for a while. I had a couple of years where like out of every 12 weeks, I would be gone for 10. Like it was stupid. And I had just gone and done a class for my job. And then the very next week, I was going to Mexico on the annual mission trip, which we did it earlier in the year than we ever do. And that was in like March of, what was that, 2019, I guess? I can't remember now. Like once things were 3 years in the past, I'm like, I don't remember. Can't give you a date. But I think it was 2019. Like I had gone to DC in February to get certified to teach a particular class. And I asked my boss, I was like, what? Y'all plan on me teaching this like 3 weeks from now? Like, what if I don't get the certification? And his response was, you're going to get the certification. I said, okay, understood. Going to get the certification. Going to do it. So I did. Went up there, got the cert. I was up there for a week in DC, came home. A couple of weeks later, I had to go to Atlanta for this huge leadership meeting where it's like 60 leaders from across the business. I was going to be teaching, and it was all like senior directors and above. That's what we call them now. They were just directors at the time, but directors to vice presidents, basically. Just like 2 levels under the sea. You know, so like no pressure. And like my boss was supposed to be there, but like it was getting toward that time where travel and stuff, people were starting to not do it. So it was like the last big class I did before the Panner thing, you know. So I went down there, did the class, it went off without a hitch. It was a good time. I got to meet a lot of leaders there. It was good for my career. It was a good time, but like the very next week, I went to my mission trip in Mexico with my Taekwondo team, and that was the first year I'd gone on the trip. This has nothing to do with Transformers. I'm just telling you how Perceptor came into my life. But the very next week, I went to Mexico, and that was the first year I've been on that trip that I love so much. Love working with the kids, love being down there. I mean, we're just down there in the jungle on the border between Mexico and Guatemala, just doing the Lord's work, kicking and flipping, and you know, just playing with kids. It's a good time. And I usually never want to leave the trip, but that year, I was like, can we go home? Can we go home? Can we go home? Because we didn't really, like, we were so far out of civilization that getting internet and stuff was spotty. Until we got back to where we were staying, and like we weren't home, so all we were getting was what people were telling us, and spotty reception and spotty phone calls and texts, and we were all just like, can we go home? I hearing that there weren't no toilet paper and stuff, just ugh. So this is like the last travel experience I had prior to staying home for 2 years as someone who travels all the time. So it was very stressful coming back. You know, we made it back, but like just barely. I got stories about coming back. I'll tell those one day. But we made it back just barely. And that was the last trip I took for 2 years to anywhere. We didn't do the mission trip the next year. We didn't resume it until the year after when travel and flights and stuff opened. We barely made it back over the border. But after a couple of months of being home, I was just like, when you're someone who travels all the time, you're not used to being home. And I went through like a funk. I was just like, what is wrong with me? And it was the dramatic change of how I'd been living my life. I was used to coming home, washing my stuff, throwing it in a suitcase, going right back out. Like I was used to being in a different place every week, and to be in the same place for like a week, then 3 weeks, then 2 months, then 6 months. It was like, ah. So I developed I was based on my own circumstances, I was able to adopt a policy of not saying no to myself for a little while. It wasn't for a long time. It actually happened during my birthday month when I noticed that they were starting to put out those series of Transformers from the movies. Like right around then was when they started making them, like in force. And I was like, you know what? I like these. I'm going to collect them. I'm going to get them. One of the ones I really wanted was Perceptor, and I never saw him in a Walmart or a Target or Walgreens, nothing. He never showed up. So I ordered him. He popped up on my Amazons, and I ordered him, and that is this one. I know it's this one because if you look here, the box has a little nick in it. And when I got him, I was like, that was my response. Because the box is not, it's not perfect. We don't mind her fingernails. She's in the middle of painting Warhammer, and there's no point in doing your nails when you're painting and gluing. It just, super glue will take the varnish and the shellac right off your nails. Pro tip. Save your manicure. But yeah, I was just like, well, it's fine. It's fine. He's got a nick. First world problems. We're not gonna be mad about it. But then the sky opens up and the heavens bless me. Because I had, when we were doing, some post-Christmas perusing in the Wally World, for some reason the Walmart's up near us, and they may have done this in other places, I can only speak for where I am, but they were doing these like double packs of Transformers. Just like two random ones stuck together and selling them for two for the price of one, basically, but like half the price of one, because this guy on his own was like, I want to say I paid $35 or $40 for him, but this was like two Transformers for like $22, so like $11 a piece, and it was good ones. And there was an RC that I didn't have that I wanted. I was like, oh, a new RC that was attached to a Perceptor in a perfect box, no less. And well, she bought it, and then she had two, but I forgot that I actually had the other one until I came home to find shelf space for it, and I was like, I get to open one. So obviously we're going to open the one that has the little imperfection in the box. We keep the perfect one on the shelf, and look, it's the good box that you can, not just that you can see him, but plastic. So perfect Perceptor gets to stay perfect forever. And we can take that box Perceptor and make him a part of the desk army. So if you don't know much about Perceptor, he is one of the more interesting ones. So like, you know how Megatron turns into a gun and Galvatron turns into, I don't know, a rocket launcher gun? He turns into a telescope. Like most of them, I'm sorry, a microscope, not a telescope, but he points up at space sometimes. He turns into a scope. Because sometimes he's looking at a thing himself, and then sometimes he's looking up there. So he is scope. He's a multifaceted scope. We don't limit Perceptor. Perceptor is his own robot, and he can be whatever he wants to be. Please don't come for me. But what I remember of him was like, he was like the little nerdy one who's kind of weak, so you had like most of them turned into vehicles, but then you had like your Soundwave who turned into a boombox. And then all the little cassettes that popped out of him, like Ravage and Laserbeak and all of them that turned into the cassette tapes. Oh, if you don't know what a cassette is, you shouldn't be here. but welcome. Go look it up. Go look it up in the archives. But he's just this nerdy little dorky Transformer that wasn't as powerful as the rest. You got Optimus turned into this big 18-wheeler. He's so strong. And at least Megatron and Galvatron turned into firearms. They're useful. Even the cassette tapes. Laserbeak. What a name. Cup and Blur and Ratchet, Wheeljack, Bumblebee, and the microscope. How does he fit in? Another thing I'm loving is there's another piece of backdrop decoration I get for posing Warhammer figures and stuff. So that's kind of great. But one thing I do remember about this character, I love the box art. Look at the box. Look at his face. He's a happy guy. Like, I remember him from the show and the movie. This is plastic, but I love little details like this. Does this one have that? Yes, it does. Good. But he was a more positive of the Transformers. Like, he was not powerful at all. He definitely relied on brains over brawn. There's literally a Transformer named Brawn. But he was definitely a mind over matter being. And I think I appreciate that, because a well-rounded show will present you characters that let many people identify with them. That's why I'm glad in the modern Transformers, they have more of the female Transformers in there. They've got more of the not as tough ones in there, because everyone's not that. Society is made up of many people filling many roles. And, you know, to spread the popularity and connection of your show, especially when it comes to fiction, people connect to characters that they can identify with, or that at least are believable. And everyone can't be the strongest. Everyone can't be an Ultra Magnus, a Hot Rod, an Optimus Prime. As much as I love Hot Rod, they can't all be Hot Rod. You know, they can't all be a Titan, Titan class. They can't all be Omega Supreme. And, you know, let me angle over here. For those of you who are concerned about my shelf, by the way, back there, that it was going to fall. Yeah, I knew it was bent. We just didn't touch it. You know, it's one of those things, it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I did find one of my books here about a hotel in Colorado, a resort that I got to stay at as a reward for a sales competition, the Broadmoor. They gave us a book about it. It was the perfect height. Just slid right in there, and there, it's supported now. So nobody be afraid that this is going to fall. We wouldn't let that happen anyway. It's just kind of one of those things where it's like, well, it's not moving. Don't touch it until you figure out what will fit right there. And I did. So, but yeah, it's good to see a character like this. For the person who didn't do football and basketball, or wasn't in dance or gymnastics or whatever, who maybe physicality wasn't their way of contributing to the world. This is that character that they can identify with. And I appreciate that. You wouldn't think in a show about sentient robots that are at war, you'd have a character like this. But there's always got to be a brain behind the operation. And that's what Perceptor is. He's one of the brainier ones. It doesn't mean brainy people can't be tough, obviously. But, you know, he was much different than your standard Transformer. And I can appreciate that. I said this was going to be a quick video, but she's literally paid to talk. I can talk for days, non-stop. I can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. It's just how I am. At least for this one, I'm not much concerned about whether or not I destroy the box, because I have to. Yay! So let's open him up. Yeah, everything she uses to open stuff up is just somewhere else now, right now. So let's get him out of the box, and let's not lose a piece of our figure because we did not check the box thoroughly. So sorry, a little one. She's on the desk right there. The little desk army's getting pretty big. Bumblebee has joined them, and now Perceptor will join them. Oh, come on, out. There we go. Ooh, I heard something rattle. Okay, we can confirm the box is empty. So, you know what we do with an empty box. Well, first, this is, if you don't know what Perceptor turns into, this is him. So look, yeah, I was right. Yeah, he telescopes and he microscopes. He's a scope. So he turns into both. There in the front, you see the microscope. And then there is, here in the corner, he can point up and look into space. Which is cool. He does have a blaster and stuff. He's not defenseless. But he is more on the educational side of things. Well, now that we've seen, we know where that goes. She got things she needs to get out of this office. Let's see. Let's look at our scenery. Oh, I like this one. This one's different than the others. I want to say that this is Autobot City on Earth. I think this might be Metroplex. It's interesting because Metroplex over here looks more like pre-movie Metroplex. When they did the movie, Metroplex took on like this gold sheen to him. That's my water cup. Yeah, so this is definitely from the movie. If you look at the one I got back there is his look and feel are pre-movie, which I'm fine with. The scene where they transform Metroplex though is one of the best because like there's all these parts that they have to go grab and move. Like he can't turn into something else on his own, which I think that's unique about him. Like Omega Supreme can turn into the rocket and the train and all that by himself, but Metroplex needs help. What's that like to have, like the ones that turn into vehicles, like your Astro Train, Omega Supreme, Metroplex, Skylinks, the ones that have like people in them. Like what if you're walking across a really sensitive area and don't know it? This is why you can't think too hard about these shows. But like, yeah, like you're in the, like the thing that's transporting you. Like Teletran wasn't sentient like that. He wasn't an independent. He was a computer, but he wasn't like the ship itself was not independent of the Transformers, the Autobots, and whoever. But like Astrotrain, the Decepticons used Astrotrain as their main mode of transport all the time. So an Astrotrain transports, like, are you in his stomach? His big toe? Like, where are you? Are you up his nose? Like, like what part of him are you in? And why are we comfortable with this? Do not think too hard about cartoons. This is what happened. Rabbit hole. He's kind of great, isn't he? Yeah, he's kind of great. We love him. He's so simple. And again, I do love when they do the feet flat because I know he's going to stand up. I will put a little double-sided tape, as usual, down there to make sure he doesn't fall. And his little blaster is right here in the corner. So let's go ahead and dislodge the blaster. Is she going to transform him? You know by now. Remember it says it's for 8+. She's the plus. So no, she's not. Oh good, it's a little rubber. So you know, we got different ways that they connect these things to the boxes. Some are more treacherous than others. This is the kind that you can just pull. Those kind of rubbery T-ties. I don't know what their real name is. Who's ever job it is to put these on here, I hope they pay you. Why don't you find your thing that you cut with? Yeah, well, that would take more time. And I'm impatient today. Ow. Mostly because we're going to a paint party tonight. And I have to go change clothes here in a minute because I just came from the gym. I'm not going in my stinky gym clothes. But I thought I'd sit down and film before we go and do that. Oh my God, how many of these are on here? That's what sucks. You think you get them all? And you didn't. Come on. There we go. All right, I think I got them all. Nope, there's one more. Two more. Ow. Did I free him? Yes. Gotta be careful about that to not break them. Oh, I love it. Okay, he's great. Just for grins and giggles before we bring him up. How many steps? $18. That is 3 too many. 18 steps. No. But he's light. Well articulated though. Look, you can just make him dance. I kind of love that. Okay, I'm done. He's very loose in the hips. Like he's gone to the gym. He's been stretching. So here his articulated scope. Ooh, that's smooth. Oh. Okay, anyhow. All right, can you actually look? They wouldn't make it where you could look through it. It'd be $75. Okay, you can look through it, but it's fuzzy. It magnifies nothing. That would have been an inspiration to make, like, put 2 little, like, reflectives, and that's fine. Y'all missed the mark. Get it right next time. That's my gift to you, Hasbro. I'm out here consulting for free. Yeah, does his tape deck open? Oh, it does. Or does it? Because y'all know she'd be breaking stuff. Okay, little things like that just make me very happy. So this is the little knob that adjusts. So like you can look through Perceptor as well. Like he can look up at the skies and the stars and down at the whatever he's examining. But you can also, yes, Perceptor, I see what you see. Again, maybe in robot society, because they're all essentially living tools, they just accept it. That like you're gonna look through a bit of your friend, and they're gonna look through you, and it's okay. You know, you're just the feeling of having your comrades in arms inside of you is just a thing that you're okay with. Different. So look at his itty bitty little gun. That's all he gets. Everybody else has had a gun that big. And just look at Perceptor, but that's because he's not the fighter. He is behind the fences, like, making moves, playing chess, while everybody else, goes out and does the thing. Let's put his little blaster in his hand. He's got 2 hands, but he didn't get 2 blasters. No, he runs. Like, that. Everybody doesn't have to be a fighter. It is okay to be a runner. Everyone doesn't have to stand and fight. And this is from someone who's trained to fight. You don't have to stand and fight. You can run. It's okay. Live to fight another day. And that's who he is. Because if he gets, blown up or something, who's going to, examine the bacteria or look into space and see when the Decepticon ship's coming? Metroplex can, but hey, we're going to pretend that he is super useful. But no, he's useful. We love Perceptor. I was joking. But yeah, what do we think? Do we love him? Look at, see, even like this model here, happy face. He's just like, I'm a happy transformer. You can't get me down. I'm Perceptor. We love him. Spin for him. Spin for him. Let him see what you're working with. Let him see everything. I think we love him. I definitely want him on my desk. He's not going to go on the shelf over there. I will say, out of all the Transformers I've opened recently, so let me grab. Oh, no, you're stuck. Let's grab RC. Come here, RC. Oh, Zero's behind you. I didn't realize that. Out of all of the figures I've opened recently, he feels... How do I say this nicely? I can't. He feels the least expensive. Now, granted, mass production, I got 2 for the price of, Uno, so I can't really have great expectations here. My expectations are level set correctly. But it does pain me a little that the young people today, if they're into this, are not getting the same heft to a toy. Like our toys, if you dropped them, would break a toe. Like they just had a weight to them, and you don't really get that as much anymore. But I'm not buying this because I want a weighty figure. I am buying them for the pure joy and nostalgia of it all. And I there's just something about these Gen 1 and Gen 2 models that you look at them and it just makes you happy. Like, aren't you happy? I'm happy looking at him. So I might, he's going to show up in a short doing the dance. Woo, 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 woo. Put that on repeat. Woo, 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 woo. And work it, and work it, and work it. Okay, I'm done. Yeah, we like him. Perceptor is definitely a win. Literally just scooted something back to make space for him. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.